everyone. I'm Darren.
And this is Max.
And we are the Froz Bros. We are here again without Mike. He's on excursion.
Yeah.
He missed the freezer.
He missed the freezer, yeah. We do miss him, but we have a very exciting edition of the podcast for you, Froz Nation.
Yeah, we do.
So we have decided to put it all out there. We're going to go an entire day of recording episodes for you.
We have not done this before. We've never done more than one episode in a single day. I think I bounced that idea off of Mike months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was kind of getting to the point where even one episode a day was beginning to be a little overwhelming for him.
Sure. But also, I mean, in defense of doing more than one episode in a day, that also means eating more than one frozen food in a day.
Yeah.
And as we've kind of discussed on the show before, they can sometimes not be the healthiest.
Right.
So we're really taking a big health risk doing this. So to be perfectly clear, what we're doing is called a Frozathon.
Frozathon.
And so we'll be, over the course of one day, we'll be eating 3 frozen food meals, recording 3 episodes of the podcast, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Darren, I have to ask you before we go any further.
Blinner.
Breakfast,
lunch, dinner, Blinner.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we're going to eat them as separate meals, though. So, yeah.
I wanted to mix them all together into one bowl, but Darren didn't want to do that.
It's not terribly unhealthy stuff. It's not like munchy madness where we just ate junk and snack food.
I really hope you're going to post that picture of...
No.
Come on. Darren will be posting a phenomenal picture from that evening.
It's going in the vault.
No.
Anyone who listened knows, because I admitted it while recording, that I ended up on the floor.
But the visual, I think the Frozen Nation needs the visual.
The microphone on my chest. Finishing that episode.
Before we go any further, I have to ask you, because we are taking a little bit of a health risk eating 3 frozen meals in one day, what is the insurance policy like for the podcast? What is our insurance? What is our risk?
We have absolutely the best. We have a Froz Bros doc on call.
Really?
Also.
Okay, that's great to know.
Yeah.
That's great. I feel much better about that. Because some of these meals, I mean, I'm just glancing over. We don't have to talk about it yet, but I'm glancing over at these nutrition facts. I mean, it's staggering. These numbers are staggering. So it makes me feel better to know there's a doctor.
We're going to try to add these up by the end of the day, too.
Yeah.
And see where we end on. Sodium and cholesterol are going to be the worst.
Yes. But also, I'll be interested to see what protein numbers look like as well. Because, as I've said before, I feel like protein is being shoehorned into a lot of our food.
We're eating meat. Yeah. I should have made us a salad or something to go with.
A frozen salad?
No. Side. We don't always have to have.
Or perhaps iceberg lettuce. Come on, it was right there. It was right there.
I had a segment idea once called Iceberg Dead Ahead.
Okay.
I think it was one of those where I just had the title.
Yeah.
Didn't know where to take it. Maybe freeze vegetables or...
vegetables are...
Eat them frozen.
Oh, God.
That wouldn't...
It's almost like a popsicle. What vegetable do you think would be the best frozen?
To actually eat frozen?
Yeah.
Banana.
Okay, we have
stop
the podcast.
Chocolate-covered frozen bananas are actually a thing.
I said vegetable.
Oh, I was thinking... Yeah, I was already thinking produce in my head.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like any fruit would be great.
Yeah.
But vegetable.
Vegetable.
My mind goes right to green pepper or red pepper because there's high water content
already. Yeah.
High water content will freeze really well. It might have a good texture.
Or something tiny like a pea.
Yeah, and then you can spit them out like a BB gun. Yeah,
it melts in your mouth, not in your hands. The green ones.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know about frozen veggies, but Iceberg Dead Ahead is a great name for a segment. We can workshop it.
We throw frozen vegetables.
Okay, so it's like dodgeball. Darren and I are on separate teams, and we throw heads of lettuce at each other. Or we build a model Titanic. Okay. And we try to, out of like Legos, and we try to sink it with iceberg lettuce.
I bet there's a type. You think there is? I don't know. Would Lego do the Lego burial site collection? Lego Pompeii.
Yeah. I don't know if I could see them doing a Titanic pre-iceberg. Lego probably has a pre-iceberg.
Okay. Yeah, not
set.
Broken in half.
Not broken in half and sunk. Because that one might come with a James Cameron.
Lego Chernobyl.
Okay. Yep. There it is.
Before the explosion, what was the Pennsylvania one?
Pennsylvania one?
That was That was well before you were born. There was some nuclear accident in Pennsylvania. Am I
Really?
making this up?
Is that why everyone's... I won't say it. Never mind.
It's in the water.
I was in the water. Okay, that's making so much more sense.
3 Mile Island.
3 Mile Island.
Have you heard of that?
No, never. Enlighten us, research team.
All right. The nuclear accident in 3 Mile Island was located on the Susquehanna River near Harrisburg. This was on March 28th, 1979. Release of radioactive gases and radioactive iodine into the environment. It is the worst accident in U.S. commercial nuclear power plant history.
Wow.
Does your water come from the Susquehanna?
I don't know. Probably not, because you're talking about the other side of the state.
Yeah.
Harrisburg's on the other side.
Harrisburg, yeah.
But it's possible. I know here in Mass, like, just because you live near a reservoir doesn't mean that's where your water comes from. It could come from really anywhere.
In Pennsylvania, it really is 2 different states almost, too.
Kind of, yeah.
Western's very different. It's Pennsyltucky out there, right?
Pennsyltucky.
You've never heard that?
No, I haven't. But now that I have.
It's a little more like Kentucky.
For the listeners, I am in person rarely today.
Yes,
which is kind of another reason for doing an all-day extravaganza, Frozaganza, Iceganza. And so...
Frozathon, let's stick with one name.
Frozathon, sorry.
Frozathon.
I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to the Frozathon today. I have a giant bottle of water with me.
That's more than a gallon in there, right?
There's 128 ounces. I believe that 64 is half a gallon. So do with that information what you will. Maybe that... Oh, so this is 2 gallons. No, 1 gallon. There's 1 gallon in here. 128.
Just 1 gallon?
64 times 2 is 128? Yeah. Darren's
it looks
trying
like
to measure with his hands.
You can mold that into a gallon of milk, possibly?
Yeah, you could mold...
I guess so, because it's not quite as...
If it was a little more bulbous on the bottom.
Yeah.
But I have my water with me because we're going to be consuming a lot of sodium today.
And I'm on my second iced coffee.
Which is a mistake because you're going to get even more dehydrated.
Maybe.
So I'll have
water when we get to lunch.
Okay. That's good. Because I am expecting that by the end of today, we might be in Darren's taking a sip of this coffee. Making sure that we stay hydrated is important because we don't want to go too off the rails.
No.
We want to make sure we stay strong and can finish out the whole day.
I think the listeners they either know we've said it, or they can easily surmise that Mike and I often have a little sip of something while we're recording.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But today?
This morning, so far, no.
So far, no this morning.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Congrats.
Water with lunch later and maybe a beer with dinner.
Oh, well, we got big plans for later.
They go well together. I know what the dinner plan is. I don't think we want to lay out the whole day.
Oh,
No.
No.
There got to be some surprises.
Yes. So, yeah, any questions about Frozathon?
Listeners,
you can
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear any questions?
No.
I'm going to assume it's all good?
We have a Google Voice phone number.
Do we really?
Yeah. I got it to try to sign up for something that needed a phone number.
You know what I was thinking we could do too? And listeners, if you're interested in this, maybe we could do this, but with an Instagram account. We could try to start going live on Instagram while we record.
We could.
So our listeners can write in questions.
We should make one of our episodes video at some point.
Sure. Yeah. I know we got to show the real moneymakers, Darren.
Yeah. And we can do more short reels sometimes too. I got Mike into one of them. Did you see the?
I haven't been on Instagram.
We recorded at McDonald's.
Really?
And had a Shamrock Shake.
Ooh, I love a Shamrock Shake.
Me too.
Oh, those are so good. That was like Shamrock Shakes were my reward after finishing a basketball practice when I was a kid. It was great. Speaking of other frozen treats, Darren, what is in your freezers? Or what have you been eating? I forgot what with this.
There are some things I've been eating. I don't have enough of what I've been eating to get us through 3 episodes. So part 1 of the Frozathon has what I've been eating. We have tried on this podcast a Screamin' Sicilian pizza. They have lots of different toppings and styles that just aren't available around the Boston area. I haven't been able to find, but their Detroit style just showed up in a store I go to.
Okay.
I got that, and I don't think I've mentioned it on the pod yet. So I got a Detroit pizza. Mike had been looking for this too. So I sent him a picture right from the store.
Yep.
We do that. We send each other pictures of.
That's sweet.
Sometimes from.
He has access to his phone in the cryogenic chamber.
This was in the short time he was out. He was excited about it. I told him I'd wait for him to eat it. I didn't. So
that's fine.
Screw him.
And for those of us who might not know exactly what a Detroit-style pizza is,
it's a thick in a pan, usually a rectangular pan. You get real good crusty side.
I love that.
It's almost like a Sicilian, but it's crustier.
I love
on
that.
the sides. Yeah.
Yep.
It was good. I really love the crusty edges on this. Mm-hmm. I don't love the thickness of the dough in the middle as much.
I see. Does it not cook all the way through?
It did. But I like a thin pizza. Not super thin. I like a New Haven style, New York style.
Yeah. Floppy. Fold it in half.
With a good crust, too. Yeah. Charred on the bottom.
Toppings on your Sicilian, this Detroit style? What were the toppings you had?
Pepperoni.
Nice. Domino's makes a similar pizza to that. Their hand-tossed pizza is made similarly. It's thicker crust, has that crispier kind of outside. It's really good.
I haven't ordered from Domino's in such a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had it too, but it reminds me of that, and I really enjoy it.
I got one other thing.
Good.
Just finished up some. Actually, I didn't finish up. I'm lying. Maybe we can have these later because there were 2 left. 2 peanut butter Girl Scout cookies left in the freezer.
Okay.
Yeah. We were gonna talk Girl Scout cookies in some episode. We never really did.
Yeah.
I know Mike got a box of Thin Mints. I never got any of those.
Oh, interesting.
I brought him a whole sleeve of peanut butter cookies.
Well, it's Girl Scout cookie season, is it not?
It is.
Okay.
More so in March, I think, but it's still going on now.
Yeah.
And, we had a listener who wrote in, Morgan from New York, to point out, which I think I had heard before, that different parts of the country get different types of Girl Scout cookies, too.
Really?
And even have different bakers that provide them.
That's surprising to me.
Yeah.
Wow. So the Girl Scout cookies on the East Coast might be different than cookies on the West Coast.
Yeah. You ask somebody to name a Girl Scout cookie, though, and I think it's the Thin Mint that's going to come up most often. If I could still find those somewhere, I would get a box because I would love to have those Thin Mints.
The Girl Scouts started popping up outside of grocery stores and on street corners in my neighborhood.
I bought mine at the Tea Stop at Harvard Square.
Oh, my God. They must make a killing.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
They should they probably wouldn't be allowed. I was going to say they should just set up outside Insomnia cookies at midnight.
And as soon as Insomnia closes. Yeah. What an interesting business model, those Girl Scout cookies. But that could be we could do a whole episode about Girl Scout cookies, freezing them and trying them. I love
next year, we're buying everything and we're throwing them all in the freezer.
What's the caramel one with the coconut? Samoas?
We talked about these. I think I was corrected that Samoas has not been the name of them for years.
Were they like caramel delights or something?
Maybe. I don't like coconut though. So.
Really? It has to be a certain. I'm picky with coconut. It has to be a specific. I
don't know. I might try it in this cookie. I would if we reviewed it. And it's not the coconut flavor.
Yeah.
I like it in a drink and a pina colada or something. It's just like the grassy texture of
the texture.
Like if you just take coconut and throw it on my mom used to do this, just throw it on a cake frosting. You just ruined the whole fucking cake.
Yeah.
I can't eat this now.
Yeah, they deserve their whole episode. Anything else for what you've been eating?
That's what I've been eating.
Okay.
That's what I've been eating. How about you, Max?
So I've only got one thing I think it's important to mention right off the top. If we're going to do 3 of these in one day, it's important for me to mention that I tried Clio's.
We've talked about Clio's.
Yes. They came up a couple times, and I finally tried one since my last appearance on the pod.
These are the little Greek yogurt bars.
Yeah. So I got like the mini ones. They were like, they look like little discs, I think. I really don't remember them very well.
Little bars, no? I've got some left from when I bought them.
Yeah, they're little bars. That's right. And so I don't know what I was expecting because you guys kept saying they were frozen yogurt, but not frozen yogurt in the, they say frozen yogurt, and that's just code for soft serve ice cream.
Yeah. Are yours did you freeze yours or just put them in?
Mine were in the freezer when I bought them.
When you bought them?
Yeah. Well,
I bought mine from the refrigerator case. But I put them in the freezer.
I bought them from the refrigerated section of CVS.
Okay.
which is equivalent to the freezer section at any normal grocery store.
Sometimes a lot of stores have like this section with some things in it, and you, even by putting your hands in there, is this refrigerated?
Yeah.
Or is it frozen?
Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe that's why this will come up later again. But maybe that's why food has to be cooked to a certain degree, because they can't guarantee that every place will cook it or keep it cold to a certain degree. Anyway, getting back to Cleo's, I tried it. I wasn't a fan.
So you join Mike and myself.
Mm-hmm.
No, I've come around to they're not terrible.
Yeah.
It was just a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah.
Wasn't what I wanted.
So it was not what I wanted either. It reminded me of when I was a kid, we used to freeze Go-Gurts, the yogurt in the tubes.
Yeah, in the plastic tube.
Yes, that's exactly what it tastes like. And it's just not what I wanted from a frozen ice cream snack.
No.
So...
What flavor did you get?
I think it was like strawberry banana.
Okay.
Strawberry one.
I have some cherry and raspberry if we want one of those.
I would try. It was like you with the coconut, more of the texture. It was like too thick. I don't know.
And it also, Mike said he expected cheesecake. And it does say somewhere on the box, cheesecake-like texture.
Mm.
No. No.
If you've never had
cheesecake.
If you've never had cheesecake before or heard of cheesecake, maybe you might think it's that texture, but it's certainly not. No, I really wasn't a fan. I would have preferred literally any other kind of ice cream. But yeah, I'm happy to join you and Mike. And Sean was the one that likes them, right?
He liked them.
Yeah, he's a weird guy. He's a weird one.
Guy doesn't like butter.
He doesn't like buttered toast or buttered bread. Anyway, I love him to death, but that's a red flag for me. Anyway, so that's what I've been eating. I tried the Cleo's and didn't like them.
Yeah, so we're going to break and have some breakfast.
Yeah.
We'll tell you what we're eating when we come back.
Sure, and we should mention, too, that all 3 of these episodes will be kind of abridged. They'll be shorter than our normal episodes.
Yeah. We started out with episodes a little under an hour. And sometimes we've reached up to a couple hours.
Yeah, they've been creeping longer and longer.
Yeah. So.
But to squeeze all 3 in, these might be a little shorter. So, but yeah, I'm ready to eat. I'm looking at the box. These things look delicious. We'll see.
I've never had one of these, so there's a little teaser right there. Let's go eat.
Let's crack them open.
We'll be back. And we're back.
Here we are. I just took a nice big gulp of my water.
Ooh. Maybe the audience will hear that. What is that big spike? Is that when I said, and we're back?
No, that might be when my bottle clicked. Yeah,
okay.
See?
Okay.
So now when we're recording remotely, I'll use this so you can line up. See the spike? Now,
okay.
See?
Yeah, great spike. When we were recording, I don't know if I'm going to leave this in or not.
Leave it in.
When I first listened to the Munchie Madness episode that Sean and Mike and I did, Sean started talking about something he'd been eating. Mm-hmm. Not at all frozen. I don't know why he went there. Dense bean salad. Has he brought up dense bean salads?
Dense bean salad?
A dense bean salad.
No.
And I swear in the recording, when he's starting to talk about beans, there's like a small fart on somebody's audio.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It came out in the rendering of it. It was just so light, but it was...
So perhaps a Froze Bros mystery is afoot. Listeners, if you hear the podcast episode and you want to try to guess who was ripping ass during Munchie Mania, send it in. You might get a prize.
Yeah, we'll send you a sticker.
If the person fesses up to it. But whoever smelt it, dealt it. And whoever heard it. Perpetrated it. Let's get to the food. Let's get to the food. It's time.
So we've got something I've never tried before.
Mm-hmm.
A breakfast bowl. This is usually when you get like your scrambled eggs, potatoes. We've got a Jimmy Dean. Jimmy Dean makes breakfast sausages and sandwiches. And this Jimmy Dean breakfast bowl, titled bacon, subtitled eggs, potatoes, bacon, and cheddar cheese.
So the way that the name of this is arranged makes me think that all of the different bowl varieties will have eggs, potatoes, and cheese. But this one is bacon variety. I'm
gonna get the research department on looking up what other they have here.
I would assume, I mean, being Jimmy Dean, they must do a sausage one.
There is there is a plant-based. I did not see that in...
So I want to take a picture of your notebook here.
Oh, okay.
So I have
I did not see this in the store I went to. There's a plant-based crumble. I don't know that you want to be using the word crumble, Jimmy.
Why?
I don't know. It doesn't sound terrible. It's just...
Wait, what do you mean? Crumble is the word they put in big letters?
Plant-based is biggest, then crumbles, next biggest, then...
Like sausage crumble.
Egg, potato. Yeah, but there's
I don't particularly mind that.
I guess it's crumbles of fake meat. Okay.
That's a strong accusation for Jimmy Dean. Fake meat.
Well, it's a plant-based bowl.
Oh, sorry. Plant-based
Yeah.
bowl. Yeah.
Loaded potato, sausage.
It's got to be one of those things where they're not legally allowed to call it food, you know?
But we got bacon.
Bacon one.
Bacon is the featured meat here.
Yep. Featured heavily in the photo on the box. For your money, Darren, is that a spoon or a fork that's cradling that little pile of eggs?
That's a good question.
Bacon and potatoes.
I think it's a fork.
Yeah, looks forky to me. Although you can't see
You can't see any of the tines.
The tines at the end.
Doesn't look rounded enough for a spoon.
I'll also say, too, it's my first time noticing that the Jimmy Dean logo has a boot.
Yes, it does.
The boot is doing double duty as the straight part of the D and also the J.
Yeah. And then there's the red curvy part for the gay part of the D.
What?
The boot is the straight part.
Yep.
The red is the gay part.
I see. We're doing a play on words.
Yeah.
Very nice. And of course, as with a lot of other foods, we've got 26 grams of protein in a stamp.
Prominently on there.
Prominently.
And you noticed this other stamp that I don't even know if I had.
Yeah, so if you hold the box up to the light and you squint, just to the left of where the bowl is, you'll see a stamp that says quality guarantee. Now, what I find, suspicious about this stamp is that the transparency of the image, it's almost invisible on the package.
It's red on red.
It's red on red, and it's like, I don't know, like you can hardly see it. So, I mean, if you're looking at this in the grocery store, you can maybe see that quality guarantee, but I don't know. It's very non-committal. Very non-committal.
If I turn it to its side, right there, it goes away from me.
Yeah. So that's definitely something that might put me off. I've also never had one of these. When we were talking about what breakfast we wanted to do, and the option was either a sandwich or a breakfast bowl.
Yeah.
I figured a breakfast bowl because it's also something I would never pick up from the store.
Same for me. I've never done this. I'm not a big fan of scrambled eggs at all.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you like your eggs?
I'll eat an omelet or sunny side up. To break the... I don't eat eggs too much, though.
Really?
I think the smell of them cooking is just nasty.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I love eggs. I think they're delish. I eat them all the time. I like them over medium, if anyone's listening. That makes me eggs.
Okay. I have no eggs in the house. I maybe at some point I need an egg for adding into something or because I haven't had them in such a long time, I think about having an egg, but I can probably go through about a carton a year.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'll buy a carton, use them over a month, and then that's it until
the next year?
Yeah.
Probably saving lots of money these days. So you're not really affected by this egg crisis.
Yeah.
Damn.
There's a lot of info on this box.
There is. Can we talk about ingredients and nutrition facts now? Just very briefly.
Yeah.
For these Jimmy Dean breakfast bowls, we're looking at 400 calories.
That's about what your typical breakfast sandwich has. Sometimes maybe even more.
Definitely. And I think 400, like just calorie-wise, I think 400 is great for breakfast. The number that is there's a lot of high numbers, high percentages for daily value on this box. Listen, listeners, I'm not a health nut. I don't make a habit of checking nutrition facts on normal, non-frozen products.
I want to say I'm the same. I'm not a health nut, but I think of between a few of us who've been on here, I'm probably the one who calls out calories and things. You have too.
I have too, but only because some of these numbers are crazy.
Yeah. And I just don't eat a lot of sugar because I don't like sweet things.
Oh, you don't?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
do occasionally, but I'm not I want a candy bar all the time.
Right. Like after dinner, you don't need that little something
aside
sweet.
from throwing a candy bar in the freezer for Froze Bros.
Yeah.
I haven't had one in
so
decades.
you'll take one for the team for the pod, but you won't in your civilian life. You won't.
I shouldn't say decades because I'm a dad. I like anyone else. I steal my daughter's Halloween candy.
Of course.
Yeah. For Easter, we probably wouldn't have any around anymore at all, too.
Yeah. Wow. Doesn't eat eggs. Doesn't eat chocolate. Only eats frozen food. The podcast.
I eat way too many carbs. We're getting off on a tangent here.
Tangent,
We're going to do it.
Thank you.
But way too many carbs. Too much pasta, bread, popcorn.
Well, you're in luck, Darren, because this meal is pretty low in carbs. The number that's crazy in this list is the cholesterol.
Yeah.
Good golly. We've got 295 milligrams of cholesterol, which, if you don't think that sounds like too much, it is 98% of your daily value based on a 2,000 calorie diet. Again, I don't usually care about this kind of stuff, but these numbers are just insane.
Yeah. I'm going to jot down some numbers so we can add these together.
We will be adding them up. So if you follow along and stick around to the very last Frozathon episode,
which you will hear in 4 weeks because we're bi-weekly right now.
While Darren takes some notes, I'm going to just make some comments about our ingredients list. But I was told that we can't spend too long on the packaging this time, because I guess last time I talked about ingredients for too long.
I think it's the pumpkin pie episode where we famously talked about an hour for just the box.
The ingredients, I mean, it's pretty standard for your frozen food. It's separated into the scrambled eggs, diced potatoes, ready-to-eat bacon bits, they're called, and then shredded cheddar. So here's something interesting. So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit to how it looked after we cooked it, but the cheese really clumped together.
Yeah.
And I actually it says on the ingredients list pretty much why. The reason is because they're covered in powdered cellulose. And sometimes, well, most times, shredded cheese is covered in either this, what is it usually? I forget, but it usually has like a starch. There's like a starch on the shredded cheese to keep it from clumping.
Yeah.
When it's not cooked.
And
but then once it's cooked, it like really gets nasty.
Well, a few months ago, I wanted to make a mac and cheese of my own, and in a couple of recipes, I saw that it said, don't buy the already shredded stuff in bags.
Yeah.
Because that's coated with plastic, basically.
Yeah. It's just anti-caking, so it doesn't stick together in the package. But again, when you cook it, it all clumps together. So that happened when we cooked it this way, too.
I didn't think there was enough cheese. But
I don't think so either.
More cheese would have made these numbers on the nutrition facts look even worse.
That's true. I also want to comment that I don't know if this is the last thing I'll say about the design of the box too. They made it look dirty. Like
it's shades of.
It's like it's trying to appeal to a certain demographic of male consumers.
Sort of.
It looks like this box was like dropped in a puddle, and then you picked it up and it's like all grimy on the front.
Yeah.
I don't know if I care for that. I will say on the back it has
a little rugged. Maybe.
It's rugged.
Yeah. It's also like, when you try to do that 2-color fade of, this is not what they're going for at all. Like, like the bathroom at an Olive Garden, like it's a gold and a mustard.
Yeah. And that's what I want my breakfast food to remind me of.
Yeah.
The bathroom at an Olive Garden.
It's sort of a Tuscan. Jimmy Dean wasn't going Tuscan by far, I don't think. I don't know a lot about the history of this company. I think I remember, unless I'm making this up, that there used to be commercials, maybe when I was really young, with Jimmy Dean still in them, or maybe it just used his voice. And it was just like, I'm Jimmy Dean.
Oh, yeah.
This is my sausage.
Too. Yeah. Oh, what? Jimmy Dean's showing his sausage on TV?
Yeah. I notice now that if you want to contact them, you're actually writing it Mr. Tyson.
Whoa!
Yep.
Good eye. So Jimmy Dean, I mean, that must mean Jimmy Dean distributed by the Hillshire Brands, which must be also, because it also says
Hillshire
copyright
sausage.
It says copyright Tyson Foods, Inc. on the bottom below that. Wow. Good eye.
The phrase, your satisfaction is important to us, is also pretty difficult to read.
Yeah.
That's a black on dirty red.
It's so non-committal.
Mm-hmm.
But despite all that, and with all that in mind, are we ready to move on to
Ease of cooking.
Ease of cooking?
Yeah.
What do you think?
The instructions are pretty prominent on the back. We're masters at this now. So I opened the box, took the bowl out, plastic bowl. It's got the plastic coating on it. I am smart enough now to know that I need to read ahead in the directions.
There you go.
To find out if this is a peel back, leave intact, puncture 1/2 inch, puncture 1 inch. This just says puncture. So I just slam the fork into the top. Then you put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, take it out, stir it. There's not a lot of stirring that really even needed to be done for this. You're not mixing things together.
Just kind of move it around.
Yeah, you want the things that were on the outside to be in the middle and such. And then 1 more minute, and it's done. And microwaving is the only option for this. I don't think you'd want to do it any other way.
No, I mean, I guess if you didn't have a microwave, you might be able to do it in a pan with
Maybe.
like a little bit of water.
A little skillet?
Yeah.
You're going to get those eggs wetter.
I'll let that one linger for a second. Yeah, it looked pretty easy. I didn't do any of the preparations. Darren usually handles the cooking or the preparation of the food, but it looked easy. You had to throw yours in for an extra minute? No,
it was. They were both the same. I was just 2 minutes, stir, 1 minute.
Okay.
So I followed directions exactly.
Great.
Doesn't often happen.
Lovely. I mean, usually we're so excited to get eaten. You know.
We're so excited to get eaten.
Yep. Eating. Yes.
Eating. Eaten.
Eating. And then, so once it came out and it was in front of me, I will have to say it looked really good.
It looked much better than I expected.
Yeah.
I got a short little eaten tangent. I was acting in a play in college, playing a British guy, but I was still, I was doing my best. Actually did pretty well. We had a dialect coach too, doing a British accent, upper class. But on certain words, I was falling back into my Northeast America, talk fast, clip things, eating like the school. I say eaten. Mm-hmm. Had to be correct. It's eaten.
Yeah.
Eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Not eat.
You gotta hit that T.
Yeah.
My drama teacher was always connect the last consonant of a word to the beginning of the next word. So if it was eating cake, it was eating cake.
Eating cake.
Eating cake. In cake.
All right.
Great tangent.
Yeah.
So it looked delicious. I was excited. Honestly, it was very similar to how it looked on the box.
Yeah.
The only difference really was the cheese had clumped, as mentioned.
The potatoes look a little browned in the photo on the box too, and they were actually very white in the meal.
They were white, but jumping a little at the taste, I don't think it really affected the taste for me.
They were
all that much. Yeah. It still tasted.
They tasted roasted. As white as they looked.
You think so?
I didn't get any roasted taste out of the potatoes.
Well,
no,
maybe because the whole thing was so salty. Maybe, but I don't know. I thought the potatoes tasted fine.
Bacon had a good taste. I immediately wanted to put pepper on mine.
Really?
Tried it a little bit at first. We always taste everything without adding anything
as
to
is.
It.
You have to get like an unbiased opinion.
I even made a point of picking out a piece of each thing on its own and eating it too.
Okay.
And the potatoes were tasteless. But instead of pepper, after the first few bites, I threw some hot sauce on it.
Oh, yeah, I did too. And the hot sauce really...
Yeah, that made this
really
work.
Helped. One of the things I said while eating it too was I think the bacon was doing a lot of the heavy lifting and flavor. I think without the bacon, it might have just been very bland otherwise. Yeah. But that's typical. If you put bacon on anything, it's going to be overpowering.
Mm-hmm. We were both saying the eggs were better than we expected to.
Listen, these eggs were better than some of the hotel breakfast eggs I've...
Yeah, or if you go to a buffet and you can tell they've sort of used powdered eggs or just some pre-made mix.
These eggs were firm. They tasted fine. Really inoffensive. I thought they had a good texture.
I hate an offensive egg.
I know. I know. I hate when eggs start hurling insults at me while I'm trying to eat them.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I thought the eggs were, oh my God, am I about to say phenomenal? Am I about to say that? I don't know. I think it's just because I was surprised. Because, how good could an egg in a frozen breakfast bowl be? But I don't know. I think they nailed it.
It was the correct texture, too.
Yeah.
The eggs were a little on the firm side.
Mm-hmm.
But
not too firm. That's what I mean.
No, there wasn't no bite. Like, you didn't have to bite through them, no crunch or anything.
Right. Because I would worry maybe in some ways that the eggs might be like tough when you bite into them when you have them frozen, or they might get like, I don't know, crumbly in some weird way. So the taste and texture were fine to me. Again, my only beef is the cheese.
Yeah.
Because it clumped together. I had to get one big bite of cheese.
It did clump together, not as much as I wanted. Maybe that's why, because it clumped together, it seemed like there wasn't as much as we wanted.
Yeah.
Taste and texture, very good.
Whimsy. What do you think about whimsy? And this is overall, right?
Yeah, there's nothing special about it.
I'm going to say this isn't the negative for whimsy for me. I mean, again, it's very rugged. It's very like, oh, gotta get my Jimmy Dean in. There's no, I don't know. I would say the only whimsical thing about this box is the fact that they've got the cowboy boot.
Okay.
Doing double duty as the D and the J.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's a very...
Yeah, now I think of the whimsy scale, if it's whimsical and we love it, that's on one end. Sort of in the middle is just meh.
Yeah.
And then the far extreme from whimsy is it's sort of cringy. Before eating these, I kind of cringed at breakfast bowls, just thinking how bad they might be.
Sure. So you cringed at more the idea of a breakfast bowl?
I think so.
Yeah.
And listeners may know, it doesn't come up too often because we have not done a lot of breakfasts, but I'm not really a breakfast guy.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't, so that's probably why you don't eat eggs much either, because eggs is primarily breakfast.
Right.
Okay.
You know what else I like? I like a Eggs Benedict or something like that.
Eggs Benedict, yeah.
You just get coated in hollandaise sauce, and you got your meats too. So
that's So the only way you like your eggs is if you can't really tell there are eggs.
Just cream all over.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm letting that one hang.
Okay.
For a second.
Let those eggs hang.
But no, I could see this being a little cringy and being kind of a like, ooh, we're really gonna try that.
That was me totally judging a breakfast bowl by its cover, though.
Yeah. Were you surprised?
I was surprised that it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to become part of my diet.
No, but my thought was, and this is kind of moving into like value, I would say that if I was traveling, if I was like on the move, on the go, and I wanted to make sure I had a decent breakfast, I would definitely pick one of these up again. Now, if I was at home, I could make this in about 2 minutes with stuff I usually have lying around. So... And it's the quality and value is usually better that way too. And
now I have to challenge that it would not be 2 minutes because Mike was very strict with me about this once. When I said I could make a grilled cheese in 6 minutes, which I still think is probably about right.
Yeah.
He just said absolutely not.
Really? Why?
He wanted to include walking into the kitchen. And, just picture him doing this, like standing there. Opening a drawer, taking out a spoon, humming and dancing a little bit.
All the time it takes to undo the tie around the bread.
Now,
your slices.
I believe you could make this yourself in under 10 minutes.
Okay, under 10 minutes. Sorry to be hyperbolic. Sure, okay. I'll take 10. I won't fight you on it.
Okay.
But I eat food like this all the time. This is part of my normal diet. I love breakfast food. And if I have a potato, especially some bacon, lying around, I would definitely throw one of these together at home and I'd love it. But if I was on the go, traveling, if I was in a hotel somewhere, I would pick one of these up and eat it in a hotel and know it was going to hold me over. I think this is great.
And I'm just looking at the price of these again. $2.99. Okay. That's a good deal.
It is.
$2.99 each.
When did you buy these?
Yesterday.
Yesterday? Okay. I wonder how the price will change with eggs going up. Because I was at a restaurant yesterday and said that there was a sign that said egg prices were already up 25 cents per egg.
Yeah. Anyone that's using fresh eggs, I'm pretty sure is increasing.
This one is. It says whole eggs is the very first ingredient. So
yeah, I meant sort of cooking them fresh on the spot, but these can't be that old. And you got to figure they made these probably within the last 6 months. I don't know.
Used by August 31st, yeah.
But, yeah, it was starting before November, around October, November, when that became an issue.
So I wonder if this did go up in price.
Yeah.
Who the hell knows? But I would say this is a great meal if you're looking for a quick, easy breakfast and you don't care that it might clog your arteries.
Yeah.
You know?
That's probably its biggest issue, but this is possibly healthier for you than getting an Egg McMuffin.
That's a tough one. You had an Egg McMuffin? That tastes like a fresh egg.
Yeah, well, they're making it on the spot. I'm pretty sure that's higher in calories.
Think so? Research team, can we look this up?
I'm going right to my McDonald's app.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if it will let me bring up the
breakfast menu now.
Yeah, we're just out of their breakfast times. Let's see. I have actually ordered. No, I can't bring me anything breakfast.
It's okay.
Right now. How many calories are in an Egg McMuffin?
You should leave this in so the listeners know you're a speech-to-text guy.
An Egg McMuffin from McDonald's contains approximately 290 calories. That's way less than I thought.
Way less than this. This is 400.
Well, here's another website that says it's 310.
Yeah, was that the AI thing? We were in the AI at the top? We were in the AI summary?
AI overview says 290. Then McDonald's says 310.
That sounds more accurate. But even still.
Maybe I think if you change this to a bagel or a biscuit, you're adding 100 or 200 calories.
Or a pancake.
The McGriddles I've never even eaten one of those.
Oh, I love McGriddle.
Really?
Yeah. Breakfast food at McDonald's you can't miss. I don't love their other food, but oh my God, the breakfast, delicious.
I have trouble getting there before 10:30.
Totally.
To get their breakfast.
They should do breakfast all day. It's too good. The hash browns.
They should at least go until 11 o'clock.
Yeah. All right, Darren, let's do our rating.
All right. Let's have you go first on this one.
Okay. So in summation, I really very much enjoyed this breakfast bowl. It was a lot better than I was expecting, especially considering that this is not something I would instinctively grab off the freezer aisle shelf. What is going to drop this in rating for me is the fact that I could make this for myself and do it a little better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give this, for that reason, I'll give it a chilled out. If it was more something that I felt like I couldn't make or wouldn't normally, if my life was different and I didn't eat this all the time, I would say it was ice cold killer.
Really?
But because it's something I could throw together on my own, I don't want to give it a better rating than that. But it is really good and I highly recommend it.
That's a really good score. So that's the equivalent of a 4, the chilled out. I already said I liked this much more than I expected. It was just objectively, I think, better than, that's not objective, that's my own opinion, what I expected from a breakfast bowl in every sense. I didn't really love it though. It's not Jimmy Dean's fault. This is well executed.
If I can just interject for a second, how do you think your predisposition to disliking breakfast, how much is that going to affect your score?
If I really liked breakfasts, and scrambled eggs in particular.
This really wasn't for you.
I don't hate this though. And you know what? It's surprising, but I'm going to give this a 4 also.
Wow.
There's no way I could give this a 5.
Right.
But I'll give it a 4. It's that good. It's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good.
It's decent.
Yeah. Could have had a little bit more of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is upsetting because of how terrible it is for you. But wow, I'm actually surprised because again, you don't like breakfast food.
Yeah, but I've got to, I got to take my own bias into account.
I really appreciate that,
and food.
I think that brings this podcast to another level that you're able and willing to do that. Mm-hmm. So thank you for your service in that.
I think we have had some other things that I just thought I would never eat again because of its nature.
Right, but would you eat this again?
I would not turn it away, but I'm probably going to...
What high praise.
Yeah, I'm not going to purposefully go get it.
Right. Wow.
All right.
Phenomenal.
So pretty good rating, Jimmy Dean, and your breakfast bowls.
Congratulations, Jim.
Yeah.
James.
Jimmy Dean and sausage. We will be back with a new segment.
I'm very excited.
That Max has prepared. I'm pretty excited too. Maybe a little scared. And we're back.
We are back. And I'm excited. I'm going to sit down as quietly as I can so that I don't make too much noise. I'm excited because this is my first time preparing a game for the show. I'm so honored to do so.
Yeah, I've done so many of them and have rarely had the chance to answer questions. So I'm hoping that this doesn't confirm that I've been the stupid one all along.
No, okay, so let's lay it out. The name of the game is called Ice to Meet You.
Ice to Meet You.
And what I have done is I have put together quotes from Frozen and ice-themed TV and movie characters.
Okay.
And I will read the quote, and Darren will have to guess what character said these quotes.
Okay.
Okay.
I've got a big pop culture gap in my knowledge.
I think...
but we'll see.
I think these cover a pretty decent spread.
Okay.
So I'll tell you, everyone right now, I'll lay it all out. I have 7 quotes for Darren to try to get. If we can get through all 7 TV and movie characters, I have 2 bonus quotes that we can use if Darren is feeling like he wants to give a bonus try.
All right.
I will also say that I'll read the quote as many times as you need, but if you need an extra hint, I will try to read the quote in the voice of the character who said it.
I think I'm going to need some of those extra hints.
Okay, so are you ready to start? Just to begin. Okay, I'll just read them straight right off the bat. Here's the first one. Honey, where's my super suit?
And these are ice or...
Frozen-themed TV and movie characters. Honey, where's my super suit?
Okay, I need it in the voice of the character.
This is more the inflection of how it was said in the movie.
Okay.
Honey, where's my super suit?
Is this from The Incredibles?
It is from The Incredibles.
Is it the character Froze?
Oh, we're so close. Think about it a little bit more, because you pretty much have it.
Frozen?
I'm going to give it to you because you named the movie first. It's Frozone.
Frozone.
From The Incredibles.
Okay.
That was great. Awesome. So you're going to do fine with this.
Okay.
Wonderful. Good job. That was actually one of the ones I was most worried about.
Okay, great. See, as a parent, I've seen more kids' movies than I've seen adult movies. And
so the other thing
for a certain segment of this century.
Yeah.
Then once I was going to movies again after she was older.
Understandable. Okay. I will say, too, that these quotes that I found, I tried to choose lines where it kind of gave a hint of who they were, too. And that was the only one that I didn't. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you got that one. Okay, here's the next one. You are still dangerous, but you can be my wingman anytime.
Is this Top Gun?
It is Top Gun. Holy shit.
And it's Val Kilmer?
It is Val Kilmer.
Iceman?
It's Iceman. Wow, that's great.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Excellent. Honestly, I had a lot of faith in you, Darren, but this is going really well. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm excited for this next one because this was the first one that gave me the idea for this game. The first character. Allow me to break the ice. My name is blank. Learn it well, for it's the chilling sound of your doom.
Can you do this one in the character voice?
I'm going to try.
Okay.
And you have to promise me that if it's bad, you have to cut it out.
We'll see.
Allow me to break the ice. My name is blank. Learn it well, for it's the chilling sound of your doom.
So it sounds like you're doing Arnold.
I am doing Arnold.
That doesn't help me at all, though.
Oh, no.
No. This might be a gap for me. Well, I can't think of anything he's been in that is icy.
I'm trying to think of more hints I can give you. I'm glad my Arnold was good enough.
Yeah, that was clear. That was clear.
I can tell you he's playing a villain.
Yeah, that I got from the Doom.
Mm-hmm. A lot of puns in there.
I just can't think of anything.
I can't be
any movie he's done related to some ice character.
I'll tell you if you really don't know.
Just give me this one.
That quote is from Mr. Freeze when Arnold Schwarzenegger played. It was in Batman Forever.
Oh, yeah. I don't know that I ever saw that.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the first thing I thought of. Mr. Freeze. Okay, so you're 2 for 3.
Yeah, I know the movie existed. Honestly, I don't think I knew that Schwarzenegger was ever in a Batman movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, he's phenomenal. It's campy and delicious. It's wonderful.
I should watch that sometime.
This one should be easy for you.
Okay.
This is your freebie. Fuck the police.
I need this in the voice too.
I mean,
it's in a Pearl Jam song.
No. I can do fuck the police coming straight from the underground.
Not helping.
Not helping? Oh, I don't know what other hints to give you. So I'll say this. This is also the lyric and name of a song.
No, I'm giving in on this one too.
Giving in on this one?
Yeah.
So, Fuck the Police is a song by NWA.
Okay.
Member of NWA, Ice Cube. His character says that in the movie, so I kind of use that as a little cheat.
I don't know the movie.
Okay, that's fine. You know the song. We'll listen to it in the car.
Okay.
It's an important song to hear. Okay, so you're 2-2. How are you feeling? How are you feeling so far? We're about halfway through.
We'll see.
These last two are a little shaking.
Okay.
But I'm confident in the next one. Maybe. Okay, ready? Now, the caveat here is that this is the actor's name, not the character's name.
Okay.
These dudes kidnap kids and teach them to play piano. Then the night before the recital, they break their fingers.
This isn't doing anything for me either.
These dudes kidnap kids?
Nope.
TV actor? Someone who might be solving a crime involving children? Or special cases?
So it's Law and Order?
Mm-hmm. You got it.
Ice? Is that Ice Cube?
No.
Ice-T?
Ice-T?
Yeah. Okay.
Ice-T's character says that. Allegedly.
Okay, so this is just from an episode.
Just from an episode.
Okay.
I was trying to find a quote from him that referenced a crime. Okay. 2 and 3, not bad. You still have enough to turn it around. You still have enough chances to turn it around.
Did I get that one, or did I need too many?
No, I'll count Ice-T. Okay. Since you mentioned watching more kids' movies in the last couple decades, this one might be a softball for you.
Okay.
Get this through your head. You're not Santa anymore. You're just a guy who smells like a cookie. The listeners can't see it, but for every question, I'm giving Darren a knowing nod to try to boost his confidence that he knows this one.
Is it the Santa Claus?
It's from the Santa Claus.
Jack Frost?
Jack Frost. There you go. Bingo, bingo, bingo. Okay, so this is the last...
Martin Short.
Martin Short, there you go.
See, this one I've seen.
Okay, this is the last one of our normal quotes.
Okay.
After this, we've got a couple bonus quotes. Okay? So, whether you get this one right or wrong, you can either tie... Oh, no. You've already won no matter what, because you've gotten more than you missed. Okay, good. So, here's the last one. Friends call me blank. Whatever I touch turns to snow in my clutch. I'm too much.
Mr. Cold Miser from The Year Without Santa Claus.
You are absolutely correct.
That was the first one that just absolutely no doubt.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Amazing. Lovely. And that's why I also mentioned Darren has our new mascot, the Abominable Snow Monster, from that movie, or is he from Rudolph?
That's from Rudolph. Yeah.
From Rudolph.
Yeah.
So I had that character on my brain. Okay, great job. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7.
Not bad.
Phenomenal. No, that's amazing. Okay, so here's 2 more bonus ones.
Okay.
And the reason they're bonus is because they're not related to TV or movies.
Okay.
This first one, you'll understand what I mean.
Okay.
Here it is. Police on the scene. You know what I mean? They passed me up, confronted all the dope fiends. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it.
I don't know. No idea what's...
Really?
Doesn't sound the slightest bit familiar.
If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it.
But this is a real person?
Okay, here's a hint. These are song lyrics. Name the artist.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen?
No.
Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. Ice, Ice, Baby. This is Ice, Ice, Baby by Vanilla.
Of course I know. But my God, I do my best to never hear that song.
Why?
It's just trash.
It should be our theme song.
This was... No, I've actually avoided ever using the words Ice, Ice, Baby in speech or writing with regard to this podcast. Has he sort of not under such ridicule anymore? Like it's just...
I don't know.
It was just... When that song came out, it was just like a national joke.
For the listeners, I have to describe the look of disgust that flashed across Darren's face when I told him this was Vanilla Ice. I'm can't believe this reaction from you.
The man is no respect whatsoever.
Well, I'm sorry to have that be one of our bonus questions then. Jeez. Wow.
But it's good that that's out in the open now.
Yeah, okay. There's Vanilla Ice Beef.
Mm-hmm. Iced beef.
Iced beef. Okay, this one is just not fair because I know you're not going to know this one.
Okay.
Unless you guess. But I'm positive you don't know it. because I don't even know this song. Whatever. If he cheatin', I'm doing him worse. No Uno, I hit the reverse. I ain't trippin', the grip in my purse. I don't care, 'cause he did it first.
I don't know it, so I'm just trying to think of somebody else with ice or something.
Yeah.
Similar in the name.
And to be clear, I also did not know this song before looking it up. I had to find one of this person's songs and then look up the lyrics.
So I'm not going to get it.
It's Ice Spice.
Ice Spice?
Yes.
I don't even know who that is.
Don't ask me because I don't really know either. I just thought it'd be funny to read you.
Okay.
An Ice Spice.
I know that it's not one of the Spice Girls.
She is not. She is not.
Okay.
Well, Darren, in our regular round, you got 5 out of 7. And tell me honestly, Darren, how did I do with my first?
That was excellent. Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
You really think so?
I was more worried about my not being able to answer any of them.
You did great.
I didn't embarrass myself.
No, you did amazing. I am disappointed you don't know Fuck the Police by NWA. We'll listen to that song.
It's what year is this?
Oh, like 92, 93?
Yeah, I was just listening to Nirvana.
Yeah. I think that also might be why, I know this isn't a music podcast.
Yeah.
But that might also be why you are so averse to Ice Ice Baby. Because, like, from my parents, great song.
Really?
Yeah. Because my parents were, like, teenagers when that song came. They were in high school, probably.
Yeah, I just thought I just didn't think there was anybody in the world who liked that song.
I mean, you've been to a wedding in the past 30 years.
Never heard it at a wedding.
Ding, 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 ding. No.
Maybe it's just everyone in my circle.
Maybe I'm going to the wrong weddings. Thank you so much for indulging me. I was really happy to put this together, and it was a blast. Thanks for doing it.
Thank you, Max. This has been a great episode.
Wonderful.
And we will move on to lunch soon.
What a way to kick off our Frozathon.
Frozathon.
We're not going to say what lunch is.
No.
But we're going to move on to lunch very shortly. So
let's just say thank you to Substrates for our music. Find that at substrates.bandcamp.com. Find us online at thefrozebros.com. Find us on social media. Look up Froze Bros. Email us at frozebrospod@gmail.com. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
Send us your thoughts on the episode, ideas for other episodes. If I deserve the hate mail now instead of Mike, I'll take it.
It was really cool. I didn't know someone had emailed in. That's really great. It was.
We
awesome
got a few. Yeah,
yeah?
we got a few people who contacted us.
Great, and they get a shout out on the pod.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
All right. So it is time to say, Fro ya later. We do that so much better in person than we do when you are remote. So
well, yeah,
it's not you, it's the remote thing.
Of course it's not me. It's never me for anything.
Okay.
I never do anything wrong.
That's it. We're done.
Bye.
Hey, Max.
Hey, Darren.
I am pulling us back into this episode because I think there are some things we need to discuss.
Okay.
So we just played...
okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we just had our first episode of the Frozathon. It was great. I hope people like it. We finished up with playing Ice to Meet You, the game that you made up there. And
yep,
there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know. Some important stuff I didn't know. So I think an apology of sorts is necessary here. So
hold on.
So go ahead.
First of all, I want our listeners to know that I did not know really what Darren wanted to talk about for this Frozathon retrospective. And I'm actually kind of surprised that this is what you wanted to say, because I thought you did great during that game.
I did okay. I had but really what I'm looking for is to have you apologize for not calling me out on some of the stuff I didn't know. And
Darren, I don't want to give too much away because I know there are things. Well, I'm so confused with this timeline now.
We're in a
as
messed
an
up
official
timeline.
Froze Bro, yeah, but it's known that I'm an official Froze Bro, right? That already happened.
Yes, I was thinking about that today because you are given the honor of an official Froze Bro in the next episode. In the next episode that comes out after this one.
Yep.
But we told everybody about it in the prior episode at Taco Bell. So we're still in that time warp.
This is becoming like a really crazy episode of Doctor Who where all this wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
Timey wimey, wibbly wobbly.
Listen, Darren, I guess I understand what you're saying, but also, I became a Froze Bro, and I believe it's my job to gas up the other Froze Bros in any way I can.
It should be your job to be a little harsher with me too. We could have argued a little bit more about that. No, I think Mike and I would have been fighting if that were me. He gave me some shit after he heard about this too. I had a pretty strong reaction to Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby.
You did. And actually, so there is something I should probably say too, because in this episode, I said that my parents were into Vanilla Ice. I asked them after we recorded, and they said that they were not.
Okay.
That they knew that was a terrible song and that it was on everywhere.
So it's not just me.
So I was wrong about that. So
yeah, it's not just me.
It's not just you. But
it came out, was a huge hit. It actually was the first rap single to hit #1, but kind of immediately people also thought this is just a novelty act. This is sort of more bubblegum pop than hip hop or rap.
Sure.
Got a few statistics about it too. VH1 ranked it 5th on the 50 most awesomely bad songs ever. The Houston Press said it was the worst song to ever emanate from Texas. And in an MTV special called 25 Lame, Vanilla Ice himself destroyed or pretended to destroy the master copy of the song. It's gone up and down now. I think it's respected again by some people.
I feel like we should give a shout out to our research department for putting that together for us.
Yeah.
That's great. That's all great stuff to know.
I had to check some dates on these things too. That was 1990. Mm-hmm. You could argue it's generational, and
could be.
And I'm Gen X. I think as a whole, we're not big rap and hip hop fans, but ironically, Vanilla Ice is older than I am. A lot of the early rappers are Gen X, some even late boomers.
Absolutely.
So they were creating music, and some of their own generation loved it, and a lot ignored it. I think I brought up the copyright issue too, and I don't have a problem with the sampling at all. But Vanilla Ice tried to deny that he was using Queen's song, and David Bowie, who also wrote it. He got sued. They settled before they even went to court. But you absolutely need to get permission when you're sampling a song. If you think you're going to be a lot of people, people do it without asking. But if you get to a certain level of popularity, you're going to get come after, and you're going to have to eventually pay up and give credit anyway.
Yeah, I'm not a legal expert, but I do know that recently, I feel like it's becoming a little more granular than just like sampling songs. Like sometimes it's like very obviously picked up and taken for a new song, but other times nowadays it's all about like they're trying to copyright chord progressions. So it's like the musical bones of a song they're trying to say you can't use. So this was probably like an early case example that they pull from. But it's funny. I would love to do a spin-off podcast about Vanilla Ice. There's clearly a lot of material here we could pull from.
The other reason I had to come back and say something about this is because I think 2 episodes ago with our friend Michaela, we did frozen baby food. I was looking for some other title. You and Mike both said, obviously, Ice Ice Baby or some version of Ice Ice Baby. We want the Nice Ice Baby.
It was the obvious answer. It was the obvious answer.
I was trying to avoid it, but it was the obvious answer. So that was the episode title. So when people hear it today, I'm not a hypocrite. I was just convinced that the song is not universally so hated, even though I'm not a fan.
So can we go back to something you mentioned earlier about how you wanted me to be harsher in judging your answers to these questions?
Yeah. You
return to this idea. Here's the thing. I know Froze Bros likes to sometimes dip its toes into politics. Every once in a while, there are some glimmers and shimmers of that type of stuff. But I will say that so much of our online media is incendiary, and we're trying to manufacture strife in order to get those clicks, get those listens. And I don't think we need to do that here, Darren.
No,
That's not who we have to be. We can be better.
You're right.
And I think you did a phenomenal job on that quiz.
I wasn't talking about trying to stage a real fight or argument, more like a little loving insults at each other or something. You could have called me an idiot for something. You could have said, how the fuck did you not know of this? Or
but Darren, I don't think you're an idiot.
You don't think so?
Because actually, hold on. Have you started editing? Okay, another time loop thing. But have you started editing this episode?
I did. Have
you listened back to it?
Yeah, I've listened to parts of it. I listened to the segment.
I feel like you got 80, 90% of the questions right.
Of your first 7, I got 5 right. Yeah.
5 out of 7? Yeah. And then the other couple were bonus because it was all I could think of.
When I listened to it today, you were wrong about something too.
Excuse me?
Yeah, you were. Now, Mr. Freeze, I didn't recognize even when you did the Arnold voice, which I saw that movie. I absolutely saw that movie. That was 1997. June 97. I was studying for the bar exam too, but I know I went to the movie. I completely blanked on Arnold as Mr. Freeze. I should have known that. I do know that. You said...
Okay, but I was wrong how?
You said it was Mr. Freeze and Batman Forever. It's Mr. Freeze and Batman and Robin.
Oh, you're right. Damn.
And that's why I didn't get it right.
Oh, okay.
No.
So Batman and Robin was Dr. Freeze. Batman Forever was Penguin, right? Research team, can we get on that? I'm pretty sure. And actually, Penguin may have been another great option for that quiz we did.
Penguin could have worked, yeah. Mr. Freeze is more obvious, but
apt.
I had this website up today. I don't know if I can find it again. Yeah, Batman Forever was 2 years earlier. I was with Two-Face and the Riddler.
Oh, right.
Jim Carrey as the Riddler, and Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face.
Totally.
So which one was the Penguin? That was the same one with Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman?
Yes. That was Batman Forever. That was the second one with Michael Keaton. I'm pretty sure maybe Tim Burton also did that one.
Tim Burton did Batman, 1989, with the Joker. The next one, 92, Batman Returns with the Penguin and Catwoman.
Batman Returns. That's one. Oh, I forgot about Batman Returns. That's the Penguin.
Yeah. And Batman Forever, Riddler and Two-Face. And then Batman and Robin had Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, and Bane.
Bane? Maybe I should go back and rewatch these.
Anyway, I saw the movie. Just completely had a huge loss of knowledge there. What does deserve an apology, though, I think? Huge gap that I did not know Fuck the Police. And there's no way I've never not heard that song. Absolutely, I've had to hear the song. And of course, I've heard of the album, Straight Outta Compton.
Right.
I don't know how you avoid hearing about that.
I would say, too, that may have been an error on my part in trying to shoehorn that quote into the quiz.
Yeah.
Because I think that may have been the first one that was technically a lyric from a song, but also a line from, I checked IMDb to make double sure that it was said in the movie. So it was accurate for the quiz.
Yeah. I think you told me this, though. Maybe not right away, but when I was completely lost, you gave me as many clues as you possibly could.
And I certainly wasn't going to do an impression.
And I understand now why you didn't, yeah.
Or do much more of that song.
And those were about the only ones I got wrong, I think, right?
Yeah, and so can we...
Oh, and Ice Spice. I didn't, yeah.
Oh, that one was a total joke. That one was I added that at the end as a joke. I knew you wouldn't get that. That one I had to literally Google lyrics to a song because I had no idea. But okay, so we've come full circle now.
Yeah.
You wanted to do this little addendum to, I guess, apologize for not, I don't know, for not doing as well as you thought you should have.
No, I didn't care about that. It's apology for not knowing Fuck the Police. It's something I should have known.
Okay.
I'm not apologizing for being stupid by forgetting Mr. Freeze.
Well, maybe you should apologize to all the listeners.
And I'm not apologizing for hating Ice Ice Baby, but I am acknowledging that we let it into the pod and even named an episode with a pun on that song.
Can I ask, are we going to start doing this for every episode? We're going to have to issue, what do they call it?
No, I hope not. I do not foresee anything like this
Isn't there
needed for...
a word for that issue? A retraction? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah. Mike and I have dissed a lot of food, usually stuff that we're not even officially trying, just talking about.
So I guess to continue my audit as a new official Frozebro, I'm going to have to comb back through every episode and find little factual inaccuracies.
Just listen to Mike if you want the factual inaccuracies.
Boom. Roasted.
He hates...
That was ice cold, Darren.
I remember in our first one, he hates Boston Burger Company. I said I was not a fan of Ted's Burgers, which is a famous burger place in Connecticut where they steam the burgers.
Steamed hams?
Yeah, steamed hams. I should go there sometime and do a little short video of myself trying one.
You should.
All right, so yeah, we don't need to keep doing this. Mostly, I thought I needed to explain why I changed my mind and used Nice Ice Baby as the title of an episode after listeners are going to hear me so opposed to it having to do anything with this podcast in the game that they just heard. So that's it.
Well, I'm thrilled to be back as an official Frozebro for this first of its kind in-betweener.
Well, then we don't need to go through thanks and everything again, but I guess we could say fro you later again.
I'm always down to thank
Substrates
for the, thank you, for the, listen, I'm a new Frozebro. It's my first.
Yeah.
So it's my first podcast. I'm always down to thank Substrates for the great theme song.
Yes.
And to remind everyone to check out our website, thefrozebros.com.
Thefrozebros.com.
That's what I said. The Frozebros.
Okay. I missed it. Thefrozebros.com. frozebrospod@gmail.com. You can still send me your hate mail like I asked for in the episode you just heard.
So the listeners can do that, so I don't have to. The listeners should be sending corrections.
Yeah.
If anyone's unhappy with the way I scored Darren during that game, please let us know.
And see, that's kind of what I'm talking about too. I hassle Mike about this hate mail that he gets that I say I'm sending him. But then we wrap it up with saying, I love you, Mike, and I love you too, Max.
Of course. I love you, Darren.
So thanks for being back, and we will say now, fro you later.
Not bad.
I've been the stupid one all along.